Thomas Hobbes, the 17th century English philosopher, saw human beings as fundamentally selfish, driven by a fear of death and an unending desire for power. In his seminal work Leviathan, Hobbes painted a grim portrait of the natural state of mankind, what he called the state of nature, as a condition of perpetual conflict. In Hobbes' eyes, without the constraints of society, government, or law, life would be solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. To prevent this descent into chaos, he proposed a powerful sovereign to impose order, what we might now call authoritarian governance. But centuries later, with the benefit of modern psychology, can we still uphold Hobbes' claim that humans are inherently selfish? Or have contemporary insights reshaped our understanding of what truly drives us? At the heart of Hobbes' argument lies a belief in psychological egoism, the idea that all human actions are motivated by self-interest, even when they appear altruistic. When someone jumps into a river to save a drowning child, Hobbes would argue it's not out of compassion, but a desire for praise, a sense of duty, or the avoidance of guilt. In other words, altruism is just cleverly disguised selfishness. This bleak view aligns with certain power dynamics observed throughout history. Empires conquer for dominance, individuals betray for gain, and cooperation emerges only when mutual benefit is assured. However, modern psychology offers a more nuanced take. Studies in developmental psychology, for example, reveal that infants as young as 6 months old can demonstrate a preference for helpful behavior over harmful acts. In a classic experiment conducted by Yale's Infant Cognition Center, babies were shown puppet shows in which one puppet helps another up a hill, while a third puppet pushes them down. Remarkably, most infants consistently reached for the helper, indicating an innate sense of morality, not something learned or taught. Does this mean Hobbes was wrong? Not necessarily. Rather, it suggests that human nature may contain both selfish and cooperative tendencies, with context and environment determining which prevails. Evolutionary psychology bridges the gap between Hobbes and modern research. It acknowledges that self-interest is a powerful motivator, essential for survival and reproduction, but also emphasizes that cooperation has been equally crucial to human evolution. In small tribes and hunter-gatherer societies, those who collaborated and shared resources often fared better than lone wolves. Survival wasn't just about brute strength, it was about forming bonds, building trust, and working together. This duality is further reflected in the concept of reciprocal altruism, where individuals help others with the expectation of future help in return. While it still fits within a framework of self-interest, it also requires empathy, memory, and social intelligence. We don't help others blindly. We assess trustworthiness, remember past interactions, and form judgments. This cognitive complexity goes beyond Hobbes' rather mechanistic view of human motivation. Even in the realm of neuroscience, the debate finds intriguing angles. The brain's reward system, governed largely by dopamine, activates not only when we receive rewards ourselves, but also when we give to others. Acts of generosity, volunteering, or even watching someone perform a kind act can trigger this system, producing what researchers call a helper's high. These findings suggest that selflessness isn't merely a societal expectation, it's biologically rewarding. If helping others makes us feel good, then perhaps evolution has hardwired us to enjoy cooperation, blurring the lines between selfishness and altruism. Yet, we must be careful not to romanticize human nature either. The same cognitive capacities that allow empathy and cooperation can be twisted for manipulation and control. Power, when unchecked, can corrupt even the most seemingly virtuous individuals. Hobbes may have overstated the case for inherent selfishness, but he wasn't blind to the darker undercurrents of human behavior. His call for strong governance stemmed from a pragmatic recognition. Without systems to balance power and regulate behavior, self-interest could spiral into destruction. Modern power dynamics, from corporate competition to geopolitical maneuvering, still echo Hobbesian instincts. Nations act in their own interest, corporations prioritize profit, and individuals navigate social hierarchies with strategic intent. The difference today is that we have better tools, democracy, transparency, ethical discourse, to counterbalance these forces. We understand more about the psychological roots of behavior, and we're better equipped to cultivate empathy and cooperation through education and culture. Still, the tension remains. Are we kind because we're good or because it serves us? When a person donates to charity, is it out of genuine care or to boost their self-image? When someone forgives a betrayal, is it an act of grace or a calculation to preserve a valuable relationship? The lines are rarely clear. Perhaps the most realistic answer lies in embracing complexity. Human nature isn't inherently selfish or selfless. It is capable of both, shaped by context, upbringing, and personal choice. Hobbes wasn't entirely wrong, but he wasn't entirely right either. His perspective reflects one facet of our psychological architecture, one that leans toward caution, control, and survival. But we also carry within us the capacity for compassion, cooperation, and collective growth. Understanding this duality is more than philosophical curiosity. It's crucial for navigating our modern world. If we recognize that people have the potential for both ego and empathy, we can design institutions, cultures, and systems that encourage our better angels. Education can cultivate empathy. Fair governance can check selfish impulses. Shared narratives and common goals can unite rather than divide. Ultimately, the debate isn't about proving Hobbes right or wrong. It's about understanding the full spectrum of what it means to be human. And in that journey, both philosophy and psychology have something essential to offer. One gives us frameworks of thought, the other evidence from lived experience.